Okay, I'm about to profile the Balsa blank. I was going to outline it first, but I'm going to do the deck and bottom profile first. I just figure try it this way, I think, like I normally do. But anyway, so if you want to see that get done, I'm just setting it up now. It'll probably take me 10, 15 to get it set up, and then I'll start profiling with the router. But go to my website and you can see it get done. So anyway, Balsa blank on the move. I'm just finished using the profile to do the deck and the bottom on the Pig, and I'll just open up the door. I just blew the room down, so it's balsa dust everywhere. I won't go in there for very long, but there it is there. And the fucking deck is dead flat, and that's the bottom curve you can see. So the tail will fit in here, but it is, oh man, that curve is perfect. I'm loving it. So I'll add more to that. Oh, excuse me. There you go. Okay, I'm just about to outline the Pig, and a few people just commented on how thin the edge of the bit of balsa looked. But right here, that's an inch thick, just here. And on the nose, same thing. I'll just put my calipers on here, just so you can see. That's how thick the rail is. It's about an inch thick there. So it's just, that'll all cut off and the foil will be perfect. The other thing I want you to show with the profiler, I put my exact bottom curve into it. My exact bottom roll is put into that, which you can see there, and it's the same on the deck, which means I'll just do a slight adjustment on the tail, the tiniest bit, and then the rail basically will be shaped from that. Just champ it off both sides to an exact point. But anyway, I'll do another vid later. This is just to explain the thin ends and how they looked. Now, I've outlined the Pig, and as you can see here, the thickness in the tails there, the rail, I'm about to do the rail. So the top and bottom is exactly what I want. And as for the foil, you can see here, still got the thickness, and really happy with how this has come out. What I'll do now, I'm just gonna have a cup of coffee, but then I'll come back and start doing the rails, and there's that flat deck. Fucking flat as. Anyway, you can see the nice curve through there. Still got 2 3/4 nose and tail curve. So this is starting to look like the Pig it's going to be. But once it's got the rails on, bang, it'll just totally transform. So about another half hour and I'll get that done. Now I'm just putting the rail line on here. And as you can see, we just run along with a pencil, and just by eye, keeping it roughly in the center. And I'm trying to film at the same time, but that's all right. Anyway, we do that, and there you go. That gives us a line, which is the center of the rail, because this bottom shape and top shape are both the same roll from the center. So this will, when I take the same off both sides, this will be a 50-50 rail. It's not 60-40 like with a flat bottom and the top being taken off, but yeah, so you just freehand that on there, get it pretty straight and work to a roughly to that point there. I'll do it on the same side. I'll do another vid once I've got the rails all done, and I'll be using my belt sander. Mark Riley gave me a tip from Riley Balsa Surfboards, and it works unreal with a bit of 40 grit. So anyway, there it is. Okay, I've just run a bit of lamb over the bottom with the squeegee and on the rails, and I'm about to do the deck, flip it over in 10, just to soak into the balsa a bit, just so when I lam it, it gives a really good bond. It's just a habit I got into all those years with the cedar stringers popping and all the different timbers, but I'm so happy with this. Like I say, the foil is just like the urethane one with the thickness of 3 1/4 in the middle. So really happy with how this is turning out. But these 4 pieces of balsa, 1, 2, 3, 4, wow, it looks amazing. And I'm about to make the wood fin up, timber cedar fin, out of my trusty bit of cedar here I got from Rod from Get Decked Out. I've got about another three left in that one there. So about to do that one up too. Okay, I thought I'd just film this bit that I'm about to put the resin on here to seal it. I'm doing it one-handed, so hopefully it'll... So basically you just run the up and down. There we go. All the way there. Up this end. And this just soaks into the balsa, and just when I glass in about 3/4 of an hour, it's going to be really, really sticking like shit to a cat's ear, as they say. So there we go. I'll have to stop the video shortly. I'm running out of time, but that's it. Not much to it. Pretty easy, and I'll clean it up with a brush on the rail. There we go. Done. There we go. Okay, I've got the Balsa Pig fully laminated, ready to go. And I just foiled the fin up for the board, and it's a bit chunkier and a bit more true to the foil of that period. But I've got this piece here, and it's got some awesome bits of grain in it, which is going to look fantastic. So this is a special one, this one. But I'll put a layer of 6 ounce, one piece all the way around, wrap it so there's no seam along the front edge. As well as an extra layer or two around the front, just in cloth, which most of it will sand off, except for this rock hitting part down the bottom here, which tends to happen. But no, it's going to be just like the ones they did in the 50s. You hit a rock and they ding and they bang up a bit. But that's why we're making a 50s pig in that sense, and trying to keep it true, not making adding rovings and all that other stuff. So trying to keep it original. There we are. Okay, I've just put the layer of 6 ounce over it, and as you can see, it's wrapped around. So this front edge, I'll just turn it around. This front edge is got no seam, okay, because that's normally where any sort of laid up fins tend to crack. I'll put an extra layer around the front edge, and then maybe a third one just around the tip for in case it ever hits a rock, just so, but it's not going to have this big clear ridge around it. But so it's got a layer of 6 ounce over the cedar. The board has one layer of 6, so it's going to be pretty good strength. When I lay up the glass for putting it on the board, the first piece will come to about here, second and third with the roving. So there'll be a lot of strength in the middle of the base and so forth. So there's no problems there. So that's how it's looking at the moment. I just put the fin on, and I always love the look of these fins that are right on the tail. Absolutely awesome. And as you can see, it goes right over the edge to the middle of the sort of apex of the tail at the back. But yeah, this has the 3 layers of glass there, 1, 2, 3, and the 20 rovings. So should be pretty strong. I'm about to filler coat it, but on the Balsa Pig, this is the one where the fin is laid back about 1 inch more, not as upright. So, because some of the early Balsa ones did have the fin laying a bit more, probably a bit more than this, but I just didn't want to adjust it too much. But yeah, looking absolutely sick. I just can't wait to see this one finished at the end of the week. Okay, I've got my mask on, so you might be able to hear me clearly, but I'm just sanding the Balsa Pig now. My technique for sanding, I've done the same way for over 30 years. Basically, we always start around the rovings first, and then up the fin, and then now I'm doing the lap. Just done the lap around the side, and then I'll whack. I've got my soft pad on now. Soft pad, top and bottom, then Orby around the rails, and then it's done, ready for the finish coat. The finish coat will be left natural, and the bead won't be cut back either. So, and the hole is in. So, yeah, so it's all progressing along quite nicely. Righto, here we go, Steve. Your Balsa Pig is sitting here, done. We'll pick up the block of foam tomorrow. It's coming in to Boxer, so and probably ship it next week. So mate, it's looking beautiful, and as you can see, has the bead. I barely see it, the bead on the rail there, and geez, we've had a few comments on the fin. The fin looks beautiful, the grain and everything come up pretty nice. But yeah, so it'll just sit here for a couple of days and ready for you to get it out in those nice waves on the Goldie and at Kira. There we have it. Hi everyone, this is our new what we're calling a Kira cart for Steve for carrying his big board a fair distance. I'm just measuring the distance here for the ocky strap. It's going to go over and hold it. Okay, which is, what's that? 79 centimeters. So I'm about to go and get a nice strong ocky strap that goes over the top of flatbed one, and then I'll just hold this up. So when we're walking a long distance to the beach, here we go, as you can see, da-di-da-di-da-di-da. So when you got this many kilos of surfboard, it's just going to make it a lot easier, and it'll go on sand too. There you have it, our Kira cart for Steve Bolo. And I forgot to say, when you're walking along and you put it down, on a hot day, your wax won't get sand all over it because it'll be able to stay up straight, so cool. Okay, I've just went and got the yocky strap. That sits over there nice and tight. That rubber is a non-slip sort of rubber which holds it in place. A little bit of movement so you can get it comfortable for under your arm. But yeah, but it's super lightweight. These tyres are super lightweight. They're just solid, lightweight, I think foam tyres like rubber. But yeah, not bad. It's going to be tried out by Steve in a couple of weeks. We're about to pack his board here. He wanted it shipped up in the box. Didn't want any damage, and we'll chuck in this Kira cart as well. The idea of this design was made so it'd stop. It can go a bit further back, just right in front of the fin, so it would never slip off, but you can move it a bit forward, whatever, but it won't move. There we have it, done and dusted. Right, I'm about to put the foil sticker on Bolo's or Steve's Balsa Pig, and as you can see, this is the same foil they used back in the late 50s, Gordon Woods and so forth, so that's how close we do it. So I'm just putting this on here, lining it up, and the beauty is if I don't get this right, I can delete this one and do it again. But put that on and take this off. Done. One foiled up Balsa Pig ready for Steve on the Goldie. Okay, the Balsa Pig is going in its box, coffin, whatever you'd like to call it. But there it is there. And as always, Kim, would you like to cap it? As she does. Now, we'll tape this up and then put all the reinforcements with the MDF around the side tomorrow. So I've got to go and get some and then whack it in the box. But I'll flip it over shortly and show you what else is in here. And on the other side, Steve, don't forget this. The Kira cart is right there, and underneath here is the two wheels. Okay, so that's just been placed in there in that big thick part of the foam. So do not forget the cart. Don't throw the box away if you open it from the other side. Okay, mate, as I say, tomorrow it'll go in the box and all ready. Beauty.